Good day, everybody. My name is Miss Maboy. I welcome you to today's business, that is grade 10 lessons. And for today's lessons, we'll be looking at the exam guide of paper 2. As you know, business studies has got paper 1 and paper 2. So today we'll be focusing on paper 2 on how to approach the exam or how to approach the questions. All right, so this is what we'll be looking at for today's lesson. We'll be looking at section A, which is your question 1, and it's a compulsory question. We're going to section B, which has got 30 questions, which is question 2, 3, and 4. Then we move on to section C, which is your essay questions, question 5 and 6. Then lastly, it will be the final thoughts, wrapping up this lesson. So here I'll be teaching you on how to approach each question. Remember, I said to you, section A has got question 1, which is compulsory, meaning you answer everything. Everything in this section needs to be answered. It's what? It's 30 marks. Do not forget that. Very important. You answer everything. These are your objective questions. Then section B, there's question 2, question 3, and question 4. Of these 3, you answer what? You answer any 2. Do not forget. Do not forget. All right, so now let's say this is your exam. You are starting. It's just an example of how your exam will be like. So this is section A, compulsory. Please don't forget, compulsory means answer everything. Question 1, the first tip, read the instructions. Very important that you read the instruction. It says here 1.1, various options are provided as possible answers to the following questions. Choose the answer and write only the letter A to D next to the question numbers 1.1.1 to 1.1.5. E.g., 1.1.6, the answer is the letter D. You don't have to rewrite the whole sentence or the whole word. You just write the letter, the appropriate letter next to the question number. Right, here's an example. We've got Anita's children's home is an example of a company. So the answer is from either A, B, C, or D. So by reading here, what do you think is the correct answer? So the first thing that you're going to do in your answer book, you'll then rewrite 1.1.1, and then you choose the answer. How do you choose a letter? Remember I said you write only the letter. So by looking here, which one do you think is the correct answer? Yes, so the correct answer is non-profit, but you do not write non-profit here. Instead, what do? You write the letter next to the question number. Can you see? So it's the same. Look at the example and look at what I just did there. That's what you do. You don't write non-profit. You just write the correct letter next to it. Then 1.2, remember we said in 1.2, you just have to complete the following statement by using the words that are provided in the list below. You write only the words next to the question number. So you'll have words given to you in the box. Right, so from these words, and then you read the question. A contract taken by businesses to reduce the risks is known as a contract taken by businesses to reduce the risk is known as a. You read the question there. You read the question and then you go to the box, and then in your box you check. Right, is it assurance? Is it problem solving? Is it memorandum of incorporation? Is it insurance? Is it partnership article? So now you've got the answer. I'm hoping you have the answer. You write 1.2.1. What do you think is the correct answer? All right, so the correct answer is insurance. You write the word insurance. That is the correct answer. Remember the instruction says write only the word next to the question number. That's what we've done. 1.2.2a is issued to register companies. So what is issued? Again, you write 1.2.2. You're going back to the box and check which one is the correct word. The correct word is, yes, you're correct. It's memorandum of incorporation, which is also known as MOI. So I can write MOI. MOI is memorandum of incorporation. I'm only writing this because it's also included in the letter box as MOI. 1.2.3, this process requires creative thinking skills to generate and evaluate alternative solutions. You go back again to your box and then you check which one is the correct answer there. Then you write your 1.2.3. Right, what is the correct answer? Correct. The correct answer is problem solving. You write your problem. Problem solving is the correct answer. Then you're done with your 1.2. Can you see how easy that is? So you can't say problem solving or partnership article, for example. You can't do that. There's only one answer to this question. Right, should you do that, just know that both answers will be marked wrong, even though you started with the correct one, but both will be marked wrong because there's only one answer to this question or in this particular section. Then when we move on to 1.3, it says choose a description from column B that matches a term in column A. Write only the letter A to J next to the question number. So question number, for example, 1.3.1 to 1.3.5, e.g. 1.3.6, and then there's letter K, which is the correct answer. So similar to your other question, you just come 1.3.1, limited liability. So remember this, we find this in the forms of ownership. So what does limited liability means? Does it mean shareholders can sell shares to the public? Owners are personally liable for all the debts and claims against the business. Personal possessions of the owner cannot be used to repay the debt of the business, or shareholders cannot sell shares to the public. So you look, and then by just looking here, which one is the right answer? All right, so if you feel that the correct answer is C, like it is, you write C next to the question number. We're moving on, 1.3.2. Private company. So private company, which one is the correct answer? Shareholders can sell shares to the public? Definitely not. That is a public company. Shareholders cannot sell shares to the public, right? Which is the correct answer is D. Then you write D next to the question number. Can you see how simple this is? It's very easy. So you cannot say D and A, because let's say you are confused. You can't say, should you say D and A, for example, just know that everything will be marked wrong. Even though the correct answer is D, you started with D, it will be incorrect. So make sure that you do the right thing by giving only one answer. I hope you understand. So we are done with our section A. We're moving on now to section B. Remember section B, you've got 3 questions. From the 3 questions, you are required to answer any 2 questions from this section. Then question 2, as mentioned, is your business ventures. And don't forget business ventures, there are 4 topics that goes under business ventures. 2.1 says list the 3 qualities of an entrepreneur. Right, so 2.1, and then you will list you'll write 2.1. You were given the number. So if you're given the number and then you need to give 3. You can't give more than 3 because you're given the number that is needed here. List 3 qualities. Then you'll start with quality number 1, and then you do quality number 2. Let's say you'll write risk taker or risk taking, perseverance maybe, and then number 3 you write whatever that you're writing, but you just writing 3. You can't give us more than 3. Then you're moving on to 2.2. It says read the scenario below and answer the questions that follow. So you read the entire scenario. During May 2018, bus drivers countrywide embarked on a prolonged strike. Bus companies later decided to implement a lockdown as a counteraction. Right, and then there should be a question here which says differentiate between strike and lockout. So you can even do your table here, and you write strike here, and you write lockout here. It's not compulsory to do this, by the way. It's totally up to you. But they said differentiate between the strike and lockout, and then you write what is a strike, what is a lockout. Remember the distinctions does not have to link, but they must be clear. Remember, they must be clear. You can do that. 2.2.2 suggests the negative impact of strike on businesses. So you need to look at the mark allocation in order for you to know how you should write. But remember, we need to write in point form. So this is your 2.2, depending on the mark allocation. So you look at the mark allocation and then you write. You don't give a full paragraph here, but you write in bullet points. You write in point forms, rather. There should be a point. And then 2.3, discuss the factors that must be considered when preparing for a verbal presentation. I hope you can see that now the level of questioning has changed. Now it's no longer your list, it's no longer like your section A, it's section B. It's more the direct and indirect questions. So when you're discussing, definitely you also have to write in full sentences. Then when you move on to question 3, we've got our business roles. Remember business roles, there's 3 topics under this topic. Right, so 3.1 says name any 2 steps in the problem solving cycle. So you'll write your 3.1 in your answer book and then you're going to name 2 steps in problem solving cycle. I hope you understand. Then 3.2, identify the problem solving technique that is applied by semi-inc in each statement below. Then you'll say your 3.2.1. Experts have been requested to complete a questionnaire to solve semi-inc problems. You write your answer here, and then you come to 3.2.2. You also write the answer here. The problem solving technique. You're just giving the problem solving technique. 3.2.1, obviously it's your Delphi. You write your Delphi technique here, and then question number 3.2, you do the same. You also list, which is your force field analysis. You write your force field analysis. Then we move on to question 4. Remember, you answer any 2 from the 3 questions. So it is totally up to you if you're going to do question 4, question 3, question 2 again. But don't forget, I said to you, question 4 will consist of both topics, the ventures and the roles. You look at this is your 4.3 maybe. Remember, this is just an example. 4.3, discuss 2 solutions to deal with piracy. You have to explain. You don't list, you have to explain. So this is your 4.3. The first solution is what? It's, let's say, trademark. It's trademark, and then you have to explain, because why? We are guided by what? The action verb, the word discuss. You can't just write trademark and you think you're going to get full marks. No, you have to explain. You've mentioned it's the first solution and then you're explaining. The second one is what? Copyright. You write copyright and then you also explain. I hope I am clear. And then there's business roles also in question 4. Advise businesses on the importance of stock control. Also advise. So you need to give full sentences. Why? To ensure full marks. If you give vague sentences, you will not get full questions, or rather full marks. So for that, we'll take just a quick break, and then when we come back, we continue with tips on how to approach your exam or your paper 2. I'll see you just now.